Can I get a go fish?
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Okay. Right. So we're back with our full breakdown of the 2016 Adam Sandler Netflix movie, The Do-Over.
That's right.
If we could do over making the choice of a movie to watch,
I would go back and pick the other one that we were going to do. What was the other option that we were?
Was it the other Adam Sandler movie, or is it another?
No,
movie?
it was like a horror movie. Because I was like,
God.
oh, maybe that'd be fun. It was the Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh yeah, that's right. I watched that when it first came out. It came out after the Super Bowl, like years ago.
Right? Yeah.
That, and I watched it, and I was like, meh.
And I couldn't remember if I watched it.
All I can remember is that I had that guy from the IT crowd.
I like him, but I don't like him enough to remember his name.
Yeah, it's one of those deals. They're like, I like you, but
I like you. I just don't know who you are. Yeah. Okay.
So the do-over. Yeah, you want to give a rehash of what this is all about?
So, in case it's not obvious from the title, two down on their luck guys decide to fake their own deaths and start over with new identities, only to find the people they're pretending to be are in even deeper trouble, which I still hate the logline.
Yeah, like the first is fine, right?
Yeah, I think I just don't like how it's written. Like,
Yeah.
There's no implied trouble in the first half,
Mm.
other than faking their own deaths, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not necessarily trouble.
Yeah.
That sometimes can be a party. Been there.
So we were trying to remember what we said for our prognostications, and I think we remember pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
David Spade is not a double agent, which I thought was going to happen.
Correct.
There is a lot of double twisties going on with a couple people, characters.
Yeah,
two
that's
characters.
true.
So
That's true. And Adam Sandler's not an FBI agent. We said that.
he's
at
not.
some
Do we
point.
actually ever find out what he actually is?
We do.
We do. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because there is a triple reveal. for
Yeah,
that one,
there's.
basically.
God.
We were right that it's boring.
Pretty boring. Hour and 48 minutes. Pretty boring. Yeah, I got to a point where I was just like, all right, let's wrap this thing up. It's time to go. It's definitely a Sandler Productions vacation movie.
Yes, and it looks like they had a blast.
Yes, there was a certain point in the movie where I was like, I think this is just Adam Sandler and David Spade actually just being them hanging out.
Yes.
Which I'm sure they're doing anyways in all their movies, but
Yeah, it looked super fun.
there was two moments in particular. I was like, I think this is just them now. Like they're not characters, quote unquote.
I wonder what your second one was. I think I know the other one, but yeah, that's yes, it looks like a good time. I would love to, like, again, please, Adam Sandler, call us. We'll be in whatever you want.
Yeah, it lives up to its Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah. This is a hard 9.
Hard 9%, 42% on the fan side, which is yeah.
Thank God we were so worried that we were going to enjoy it. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I wasn't too worried about it. But so you want a quick info on this thing?
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right, so this is directed by now friend of the pod, Stephen Brill. Can you remember what he did that we're now friends with him for?
Alien Warfare.
Nope. Damn it. You didn't even try.
No. Climber Guys?
No. Little movie called Walk of Shame.
What?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he wrote that, and I think he also directed
The Mighty Ducks guy?
He's the
Huh.
Yep. And he's a big Sandler guy too now. So he did all the who's it? Hubie Halloween?
Hubie, yeah.
Hubie.
I almost used that in my pitch.
Sandy Wexler, he directed. Do-Over, he did. Walk of Shame, he wrote and directed.
Okay.
Drillbit Taylor, we remember all these from them. Mr. Deeds, Little Nicky. So,
right. Yeah.
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 And
he picked up when the Adam Sandler's career started to get not good.
Yeah, but when he was banking all the money. So yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. So smart.
Yes. Like they're not good movies, but they make money. And yeah, he was the Mighty Ducks guy.
Okay.
Wrote the original Mighty Ducks. Didn't do anything. He just story by for D2. And then I think he was, again, screenplay.
And Heavyweights.
Yeah.
I love Heavyweights. What a top movie. Great movie.
So Stephen Brill.
Back when Ben Stiller used to be good too.
Getting money. Screenwriters. This was written by Kevin Barnett and Chris Pappas, who I believe
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I feel like they were involved in. They weren't, I guess, but
he did The Wrong Missy. Oh, at least just executive produced. Oh no, he wrote it.
Yeah,
that movie sucks.
Yeah, so Kevin Barnett, obviously Do Over, The Wrong Missy, which is a
David Spade.
Yeah, but it's a whatchamacallit production, isn't it?
Happy Madison.
Yeah, Happy Madison Productions, I believe.
Probably.
Heartbreak Kid, which I remember that it was with Ben Stiller and Hall Pass, which was reasonably okay.
Hall Pass wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And he wrote 3 episodes of The Righteous Gemstones, which I've heard is good, but I have not watched.
Yes, Righteous Gemstones is great. I enjoy that.
Interesting.
So yeah,
and like parts of this movie were funny.
Yeah, there were a couple like I said, there was like probably 2 or 3 lines I chuckled and I was like, yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, so maybe this guy wrote the funny ones and Chris Pappas fucked it up.
I don't know. So Pappas, he's on the other side of this. Yeah, not much. He's got this Unhitched, which it seems like that's where they met because they both worked on that together.
I was going to say, it seems like they're a team.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like Pappas came in a little bit later.
All those same episodes of Righteous Gemstones, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
weird.
3 episodes. Yeah, so team effort.
Weird.
And then who's in this? So obviously, Mr. Sandler plays Max
and his whole family.
Yep, and his whole family. That's true. Another cameos from his wife and 2 kids, I believe, are in this. Which we'll call out. Oh, and his nephew,
of course,
Jared Sandler.
Jared,
the less of the Jareds.
Friend of the pod. We've talked about Jared Sandler.
We have, because he was in
Alien Warfare,
the home team.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Right, because that was another Happy Madison production, I think. So it was a whole crew.
Kevin James bit. Yep, that's right.
David Spade, he plays Charlie. Paula Patton plays Heather. Paula Patton was in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Never heard of it.
Was an older one. Kathryn Hahn, she plays Becca.
Never heard of her. Who's Kathryn Hahn?
She was in WandaVision. She plays the next door neighbor, the witch. What's her name?
Oh, yeah, she's funny.
Yeah, Kathryn Hahn's great.
Oh, that was her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I'm putting the pieces together.
It's all coming together. Nick Swardson plays Bob.
I don't think he had a name in the movie, so
he did. It was Bob. It was just Bob.
They called him Bob
at the very end. Yeah, he calls him Bob. He's like, "Oh, it's Bob." They had a kind of, this was his running joke was kind of funny. Which
yeah. Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah. Matt Walsh, who plays Shecky. Matt Walsh was in a lot of. He's like one of those actors you see him like, oh yeah, Matt Walsh, comedian guy. He was in a lot of Comedy Central, like the late night stuff.
Okay, not the bad Matt Walsh.
No.
Okay.
And then we had Joe Brunette, who plays Guy in Pep Boys. So.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he did a good job in the background.
Yeah, and sponsored by Pep Boys.
Right. We're going to do as much of Adam Sandler Happy Madison production as possible with a ton of product placements like they do in their movies. So.
Oh yeah, sponsored by Corona and Pep Boys.
so many product placements in this movie. Mm-hmm. One glaring one. They must have picked up the whole bill.
Oh yeah.
So that's it for right. I think those are all the
speaking of the bill.
Yeah, speaking of the bill. So box office. So this is one of the Netflix deal movies. So no box office numbers there, but there's some stuff we have in Fast Facts about this, and combined with the other Netflix Sandler movies were like some of the top streamed films of all time. So
not surprised.
Yeah,
not surprised.
Budget was a cool $40 million.
That's actually less than I would have assumed.
Yeah. So fun, interesting thing about this is that so most of these movies he's been doing will range between $40 and $80 million for budget.
Yeah.
He commands $15 million as an actor, reportedly, and another $5 million for producer credits. So
interesting.
Of the $40 million budget, he was potentially half the cost.
I mean, I'm not actually surprised by that.
Poor David Spade with his $1 million.
Yeah, incredible.
Actually, it would be $40 million. So half went to Sandler, $5 million probably went on for vacation for everyone, and then the rest for
probably a few $100,000 for the rest of his family. I would assume between them.
Everyone's getting paid. So
thick.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yep.
Good business.
Yeah, he's a businessman. Rotten Tomatoes, like we said, it sits at 9% and 42% in the audience. So
yeah. I love it. Jim Carrey style.
Yeah, it's
get those good contracts.
it's that Netflix money, and of course Netflix is flipping the bill for all the production costs and everything else for these movies too.
Of course,
so they're covering everything else, and then there's a
it.
very interesting couple articles on The Verge and New York Times did about the deal plus how Sandler is making money through all these, and he's able to have total control. And it's like now he's got this steady check that he can still put in less effort into making these movies and make a ton of money, and people are still watching them. So Netflix is like, sure, you can put out whatever you want. People watch them. People watch them. So
who cares? Great. I love it.
These thin veiled plots with just a ton of product placement that all goes to Happy Madison Productions. It's a machine. It's a beautiful, beautiful machine.
Incredible.
Someday, my friend, we'll get there someday.
Yeah. Wow. We just have to be funny first.
Yes.
We have to be on SNL or something.
Yeah. Make some good stuff beforehand. And then we can, just cash in and, put in zero effort.
Yeah. And go back to the 80s when you could be really offensive. And nobody cared.
80s, 90s. Yep. Okay. All right, so that's the quick info. Any thoughts or no?
No, that's great. Thank you for doing that.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm trying to show more gratitude this year.
Yeah, 2023 compliments left and right.
That's right.
Okay, when you Hollywood pitch me, motherfucker.
All right. So, thanks for helping me out a little bit with this one.
I got you.
It's obviously selfless.
I mean, obviously.
Right? Meets The Emperor's New Groove. Selfless, it writes itself. It's basically the same movie. Listeners, if you don't remember, we did Selfless, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe. Who knows?
It could have been last year. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds bit, pretty funny. And by funny, I mean awful. But about there's a whole cancer plot where they try to cheat death by stealing other people's bodies, right? That's the premise of that one. In this one, they're basically doing the same thing, but reverso kind of. He's not stealing bodies. Well, he did steal bodies. Okay, so actually, yes, he did steal bodies and also identities, but
yep.
They didn't inhabit the bodies, I guess. And Adam Sandler, big spoilies, trying to get out of cancer. Great. Yep. Yeah, I think that's probably the only, big connection. In Big Pharma. Big Pharma is the enemy in both movies.
Yeah.
As always, right?
As always. When it comes down to it, Big Pharma, right?
Yeah, half of the ITMT movies that we've done, Big Pharma's
Big Pharma. They not only produce them, but they're the villain.
Yeah, exactly. Now meets The Emperor's New Groove. You've seen Emperor's New Groove?
I don't think I have. I don't think I have.
It's like a top 2000, like turn of the century Disney movie. And,
I do not know this movie.
Featuring David Spade as the main character here. And there's a few things that I think are relevant other than David Spade. So one, there's a bunch of like fourth wall voiceover that happens in The Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
From David Spade.
And in this movie, I don't know
why. Why do they do that?
Yeah. And was it him? I was like, oh, I know what it is. It's him now going to be like in the interrogation office of the FBI at the very end and him telling that story. And I was like, but they didn't even.
Nope. They did.
Stupid.
Yeah. I assumed he was talking to us the whole time.
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah. And in The Emperor's New Groove, it's funny. They do a good job with the narrating bits. Not so much in this movie. As part of it, in The Emperor's New Groove, Cusco, which is David Spade's character, is turned into a llama, and people kind of assume that he's dead or disappeared. Mm-hmm. Just like in this movie, when he disappears, right?
Yep,
People assume he's dead. Also similar in The Emperor's New Groove, people don't miss him because he's a big jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
In this movie, he's not a big jerk, but also people don't really miss him.
Nope.
So
it's the mustache. You gotta,
right. Exactly. And then they both have like happy endings because, Emperor's New Groove is a Disney movie, so it kind of has to. He learns his lesson.
Yep.
People appreciate him. He turns into a nice guy. And at the end of this one, they end up having a fun friend adventure, and it works out nicely for David Spade and Adam Sandler. So,
as it always does, right?
Yeah, basically the same movie. And basically a cartoon. This movie is almost a cartoon.
It actually, it practically is.
Right? Like, there's a lot of good slapstick in The Emperor's New Groove, where it's like, boulders falling on people, that kind of thing. And this
classic
basically does the live action version of that.
Yeah, there is wine barrels collapsing on someone, basically like a boulder. Yep.
Right. People flipping over cars.
Yep.
A lot of Looney Tunes-esque hijinks.
Oh God.
So yeah, that's me. What do you got?
I like that. So I'm going with Click, 2006 Adam Sandler movie meets Weekend at Bernie's. I'm feeling really good about this one. So
it seems great.
Click, I'm going, obviously we got the Adam Sandler connection there. We've got the cancer connection, because his character in that movie, and when he fast forwards, has got cancer, right? So trying to get to that. And the idea that he's got a remote to like basically kind of does a do-over in a way. Like, he's controlling reality, right? And he's kind of changed, like he can go back, he can go forward, he can skip stuff that he doesn't want to be a part of.
Yep.
Kind of like this
unhappy
movie
with his life.
Unhappy with his life, right? So, and I think at the end, he kind of fixes everything right, of course, and is happy and gets together with his wife and whatever, right?
Yeah, no surprise ending on that one, I think.
Yeah, no. Or he wakes up and it was like, he thinks it was a dream, I think, right? He wakes up back in the Bed Bath and Beyond.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And Christopher Walken. Yeah, I do too, actually. We never say the Hollywood pitch movies are bad. I mean, of course they're not bad. They're usually much better than what we end up watching. All right.
Well, except Selfless.
Yes, except for Selfless. Yes. Go listen to that episode and understand why. Meets Weekend at Bernie's. Now, this one is pretty close to dead on plot wise. Two kind of middling, down on their luck guys, right? Get a invite from their rich boss there, right, to go to his house because they uncovered some fraud, right? Which they didn't know Bernie Lomax was actually causing the fraud, right? So we get the fraud connection in the plot. They go down there. Bernie Lomax is dead. They're being blamed for his death, much like this movie, where these two guys are being blamed for Fishman and Ryder's death, right?
At various points.
And they're trying to get out of that situation.
It's good.
Now, in this movie, there's no them pretending to have a dead person alive, but they are taking the identities of two dead people, pretending to have them be alive. So stretch, but I'm going to keep it. And that one all works out in the end anyways. And then they made a sequel. So
yeah. And there's like nice locations.
I was just going to say beaches, nice location, right?
Yep. Hijinks.
Yep. You have the one friend who is just ready to have a good time, right?
Yep.
And then you get the other one who is, kind of
a corpse.
Well, I was thinking Andrew McCarthy's kind of like the wild one. Like, we'll have fun. We'll turn him into a dead body, right? And then Jonathan Silverman's kind of like the we shouldn't be doing this character, kind of like Charlie, right?
That's right. Yeah, no, that's good. I like it. Did you ever see the sequel to that one? I don't think I ever saw Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Oh, I definitely did.
You definitely did?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Was it good?
No.
Okay.
So that's it. Those are pitches. So
great work.
Yeah.
Good pitch. Good pitchmanship.
Okay. Do you want some fast facts about this?
Back me, Daddy.
Okay. I cut so many out that you would have hated.
Good. Thank you.
I actually cut all of them out. I weeded through this because, like, you know what? I'm not. It's time we grow up. It's been 3 years. Let's grow up. We're in our third year. Let's grow up a bit. So
yeah, trim the fat.
So as we were a little behind the scenes stuff, so this was the second film of the 4-film deal with Adam Sandler and Netflix. After The Ridiculous Six, Sandy Wexler, and the week over the others as part of that first 4-film deal back in 2014.
Yep. Which
was worth a reported $250 million for those 4 films.
That's so much money.
That's ludicrous money. And just when you think you could get out, there's going to be 4 more movies that they did another 4-movie deal in 2017. And I think I
He's
didn't
doing
see
the Sony thing with them.
Yeah, I didn't see Hustle, but I actually heard it was good. And I think that was one of the 4 films.
Yeah, that one was supposed to be good.
And Murder Mystery, you said you enjoyed. That was like the first of the next round of 4 films.
Yeah, not like a great movie, but like definitely watchable,
entertaining, right? Yeah, because I think that was the first of this new deal. The second one was the Hubie Halloween there.
Yeah, that almost unwatchable. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
And I think The Hustle is part of it because that's a Netflix movie and it's him and it's Happy Madison Productions. So
okay,
maybe he's starting to give them something good content. But
what the? Oh my god, dude! I just to validate myself, Hubie Halloween sitting at a cool 51% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow!
Somehow, I don't understand.
I'm not going to watch it.
One of Ray Liotta's last movies.
Oh yeah. Actually, I think that new movie Cocaine Bear is his official last film that's coming out.
I think you're right. Yeah. Great way to end a career.
Yeah. Cocaine Bear.
Yeah. I mean, Cocaine Bear looks great.
Oh, it looks like a blast.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But that's not this movie. So
rest in peace, Ray Liotta.
Yeah, absolutely. According to Netflix, and their stats are always goofy or whatever, they make them up as they go. Customers,
it's like getting something out of Russia, and you're like, is that real information, or did you just make it up?
Are you just making this up?
You sneaky.
People watch for 2 seconds. That counts as view. No, it doesn't. That's not how that works. But according to Netflix, customers have spent over 2 billion hours. That's
fucked up.
That's billion with a B hours watching Sandler's films on Netflix since The Ridiculous Six premiered in 2015.
I guess I'm glad that that's saying all of Adam Sandler's movies on Netflix, because if it was like only this one, I was going to be so mad.
But apparently, like the Ridiculous Six, this one, and Murder Mystery ones were like the 3 top like watched films in Netflix history, according to Netflix. So
that's wild.
Obviously, because they signed up for another 4-picture deal, which
right. I mean, you're not going to do that if it's not wicked profitable for you.
I'm sure is worth another at least $250 million there. So
well, and that I still don't understand the business model here of like I know that they spend money on content to bring new subscribers. Do you think someone out there was like, oh man, Adam Sandler's new joints on Netflix and I need to get a subscription now?
I mean, I think so. I mean, think you're a Marvel Disney guy, right? I mean, didn't you? Yeah. I mean, what, people are just going to get Disney Plus just to watch the Star Wars more so than Marvel, right? Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
There's no reason to have a Disney Plus subscription at all, unless you're into Star Wars or Marvel stuff, right?
Simpsons, the whole Simpsons catalog.
Oh, Simpsons catalog's on there?
All of it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they got that with the Fox acquisition. Yeah, exactly. There's lots of good stuff on Disney Plus.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Well, and front of the pods films, Mighty Ducks.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, of course, you get a ton of kids content on there too. Of course, in the classic movies, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think so. I think he is a huge draw, like massive. I think I said somewhere like his combined over his, what is it, 3-decade career of movies, he's made $3 billion or something like that. Something
I'm
ridiculous.
not surprised. Yeah. Like, I mean, he just got that. Was it the Golden Globes or something? He got that Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
Did you see that? It was like in the news briefly. Basically, it was a funny bit that he did. He was like, his acceptance speech of this Lifetime Achievement Award was framed as like a letter from one of his kids. And it was basically, he was like, yeah, it's like, Dad, why do you keep making such shit movies? Like, well, because it pays the bills. like
pays the bills. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that kind of stuff, like self-deprecating. Like he's a funny guy.
Yeah, I got nothing against him, but his movies are just bad though. Why are people keep him coming back? I was thinking about it too, because he's got like these two sides of him. He's got the joke side, which is pretty much the same as it's been since like his 90s film. Like
Yeah.
that humor has
not changed.
has not changed. And I think all the people who enjoyed those kind of like didn't change either. And they're like, yeah, this is still funny. I'll stick with it.
Probably, yeah.
And then there's the other side of him, like dramatic actor, which is like really good stuff. You know, like Uncut Gems was great. I haven't seen this movie Hustle, but I heard Hustle was really good. I haven't seen it yet, but I guess if you got something that works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Great career.
Good for him. Good for him. This movie now into the movie stuff. So this movie was filmed in Savannah, Georgia, and San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Sure. Good film credits.
Makes sense. We're going to do a little fact check here for you. The name tags at the high school and the banner there, high school reunion show the school's Central High, which was Adam Sandler's high school in Manchester, New Hampshire, where he grew up.
That seems correct to me. I thought he went to West for some reason. There's a couple of big high schools in Manchester.
By the way, I think that everyone from New Hampshire is just from the same place and all went to the same high school. So,
oh my God, there's so many high schools. There's like 2 big high schools in Manchester. in the one city.
Nah, it's just Central High. That's it.
Oh my God. Nightmare.
It's like yeah.
Yes, this is a fact. This is a true fact.
Okay, there you go.
Confirmed. New Hampshire's favorite son.
Central High.
Mm-hmm. Right up there with Gigi Allen.
So the second name's Ryder, because his name is Butch Ryder, right? And McMillan. I don't know who's McMillan. The second name is Ryder and McMillan. Charlie McMillan. His second name. Okay, so it's Butch Ryder and Charlie McMillan. That's right. Mm-hmm. Are a nod to 2 British cancer charities, Sue Ryder Cancer Care and Macmillan Cancer Trust.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Well,
do it.
As fun as cancer can be.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, not fun, but like, oh, that's neat. Yeah. Nice little good pull.
Yeah, go send some money to a charity.
Yeah, please.
Butch Ryder, who is Max's alter ego or license or character he takes over their driver's license, shows his birthday is September 9th, 1966, which is Adam Sandler's actual birthday.
That's just lazy.
Yeah. It's like,
just make it up.
Just make it up. Oh God. When Max and Charlie, this one's stupid. I'm sorry I included this one. Max and Charlie meet Don and Joan at the club, the nightclub there. They falsely say that they're in their mid-50s at the time the movie's release. Adam Sandler was 50 and David Spade was 52.
I like it.
Oh my God.
It's kind of funny.
The house used for filming in Puerto Rico is the same house used in the filming of Show Me's series Mad Dogs.
I'm not familiar.
Not familiar. It's a Amazon show.
Who's Show Me?
I don't know. So
you said it like I'm supposed to know who that is.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's how you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, Billy Zane's in that?
You make it sound like the other person should know.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And then if they don't, you're like, oh, you don't know that? Yeah. You should check it out sometime. It's good.
Yeah. Show Me's Mad Dogs, of course. Like classic reference.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to play a little 6 Degrees of Separation. When Adam Sandler goes into the biker bar in Florida, he calls the bartender Encino Man. I gave you one. Mm-hmm. Sean Astin, who plays Ted O in the do-over, starred in Encino Man with Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser. I said I cut out most of them, I think, so. Not all of them. That's it.
I appreciate it.
Great work. Fast fact. That was actually fast. Mediocre. They were good at the start, and then they kind of just,
they devolved a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. That's,
like this movie.
That's what we do here.
It got worse and worse as it went on.
Oh, just please make it end. Okay, so do we want to get into this?
Yeah, fire it up.
All right, so we get the Netflix and Happy Madison logo. I've never seen the full Happy Madison logo. Who's the guy who shows up?
I don't know.
I don't ever remember
Shooter McGavin?
It's like, I don't know who this is.
I don't either. I like it, though.
I would say like the first 10, 15 minutes of this movie, by the way, is all from the trailer.
That's right.
So it opens up with the class reunion, 1991, right? And we got David Spade doing his voiceover.
Yep.
Talking about basically how shitty his life was. We see Sean Astin, which I was like, I love that Sean Astin was playing this He plays a great kind of douchebag redneck guy.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
Gonna get a go fish.
Pretty funny. The DJ there is Jared Sandler there. That's his nephew, I think. So
yep, you're right.
So yeah, he's doing a voiceover about what could have been. Again, this is just from the trailer, and then Max shows up.
Well, in the voice, like they do a good job, I think. Well, I guess good job because I didn't watch the other trailers where it was like more obvious that you did. But like I didn't realize at the beginning that that was his wife. Like I was like, oh, he's doing a bit about how he could have been with the prom queen and whatever else.
Yeah, they kind of set you up here.
It wasn't bad. I feel like it was a good setup.
Yeah, they set you up for a little joke here. So then Max shows up, right, and they go back and forth, and then the prom king and queen, who is Sean Astin and Nikki, Max goes on to make jokes about Nikki, and then Charlie's like, yeah, that's my wife. So
yeah, wish you would have told me that before I called her an alcoholic hoe bag. Classic Adam Sandler.
Yeah. So
there's also like a weird bit about Max having had Charlie had his mom show Charlie her boobs at some point. Like,
that's a setup for the very.
That is the setup for that. And but he's like, oh, you were her little Macaulay Culkin, and I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't understand any of this.
Home Alone reference. I
guess is he a peeping Tom? And oh yeah, I guess he kind of is.
It's right.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, weird. I don't care for it.
Yeah. Then
the other key premises here when they go to leave is that he can't leave because he's the class treasurer. He's got too many responsibilities.
Yes.
So his wife has to be taken home by Ted.
Yep, in the limo, right?
In the limo. Now it's time for a beer.
So then it's the hotel bar. Yeah, we couldn't figure out where they were in the trailer. I was like, where is this? So yeah, their hotel bar. They catch up. Again, this is stuff mostly from the trailer, except we get way more like backstory exposition. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Charlie was a smart kid. Max was an idiot. Max's father had died, and then Max is quote unquote always wanted to be an FBI agent,
and he is.
He is maybe. Then they smoke some weed cigarettes. You know, the old marijuana.
The only important part about the FBI agent bit that's like a setup for later too is when he's like, oh, well, that guidance counselor told me that I would never be an FBI agent and that I would be a coroner or like moving the bodies around at the morgue. And then,
and is he actually a guidance counselor?
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't
make sense. Who can I forget the whole deal and handle guns and do all that action stuff? Do they explain that?
They do explain that.
I must have missed it in the wrap up at the end there.
Yeah, it's okay.
So basically, this whole scene of them just catching up, bunch of exposition, but background, and then basically nothing in Charlie's life has changed. Same car, same house, same job. Nothing's changed.
Driving a Gremlin still.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Yeah. And then we get the first glimpse of the mysterious woman, Kathryn Hahn's character. Becca just kind of eyeing them, and then Max goes and they have a conversation and seems heated, and then he just tells her to leave. So
other brief setup for payoff later is that Charlie's life sucks so much that he doesn't even have a passport. He's never even been anywhere.
That's so sad.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. But like, I like how that's the watermark of like, well, my life stinks. I don't even have a passport. You're like,
yeah.
What? Okay.
I mean, owning the same car, it's just called efficient.
Yeah. I mean, if you can drive a car for 40 years, like good on you.
I just realized there is so the product placements start with the Bud Light. I forget about the Bud Light. Bud Light is everywhere in here, but so is Corona. They
joke in the reunion scene. Max is like, "Oh, you know what? I bet you could use a Bud. You always loved a good Bud Light." And then they go and drink Coronas. Like they're not drinking Bud Light at the bar. Like not until later.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Classic Sandler product placement stuff. So ton of it, and then we get a great Corona ad transition.
Yes, it is just a Corona ad.
So we cut to the bank where Charlie's work, right? He's the manager there of the bank. Again, this is just all that happens here is we get the joke from the trailer from the old lady asking where the kitty litter is.
Yeah, there's a big thing about the Chinese food order that's like
Yeah.
very mundane.
Yeah.
You sure you want 2 Mugu Gai pans or whatever? I don't know.
It's like, come on, just move along.
Just hurry.
Yeah. Hurry and get this over with. And we get a look at Charlie's normal life here back at home, right?
Yep. The kids like barrel down the stairs in karate uniforms and like steal the food from him and then attack him. And it's very funny. I do like watching David Spade get hurt.
Yeah, I guess that's always a good one. And then he goes to the kitchen and the wife is like, oh, it's like, I laughed at this one. She's like, oh, I want an all expenses paid like spa trip to Naples, Italy. And she's like, oh, Naples, Florida.
It was pretty funny. Yeah. Apparently that was the grand prize of the reunion. Do reunions have grand prizes? Like, I don't
know. Charlie was like, I don't remember that being a thing. So another nice little product placement, Sprint ad in the back of the phone that she's on. It's very large. And then basically the 2 kids come in and are like, yeah, we're the fortune cookies, man.
Yeah, where the fuck are the fortune cookies? Yeah, they're pretty funny. And the premise here is Charlie's excited to go on the spa weekend, and his wife is like, "Oh, of course, not you.
No.
I'm bringing Tracy, and this will give you time to paint the garage. So enjoy
that." So he heads back to the Chinese restaurant to get the fortune cookies, right?
Which unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, if your kids come down and scream at you, where the fuck are the fortune cookies? You do not go back to the place to get the fortune cookies.
No, you don't let them eat and you put them in their rooms, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
How to handle kids 101. Just don't feed them and lock them in their rooms, right?
That's right. Exactly.
So
the best punishment.
Yes. Here's a fortune. You're not getting out of your room. Lucky numbers. And then so he gets fortune cookies and he gets a text from Max being like, hey man, I'm on the boat.
Yep. Ready to hang when you are.
And this is what I literally wrote, was like, and this is when the Sandler Spade vacation starts.
It looks awesome. Yeah. Because then we cut 2 boats.
Yeah. We're in boats. So
this part I imagine was filmed in Puerto Rico, right? Because
that probably isn't Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah is kind of landlocked as far as I know.
Yeah, I think they were doing most of that and towards the end. But most of this, I think it's supposed to be Jacksonville, Florida. But
okay.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah. So they get on the boat, the fishing chicks. They christen the boat. It's not his boat. There's some Bud Light. There's a kind of a boating montage, right?
Yeah, and they do a whole bit where they like are still showing that Charlie's a square, and he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't drink a Bud right now. I just took some Dramamine."
Yeah,
you're like, all right, fine.
Okay, come on, don't do that. But
yeah, yeah, and then the boat montage is great. They just smoke some more weed. They like
more Coronas, so much Corona in this movie. Yeah, and then they had this weird interaction with like they pull up to a boat full of women.
Yeah, it's like you're right. Like this is just Adam Sandler and David Spade like having a good time.
Yep. So they try to get the women to flash and they flash them, and then Spade has to flash them, so he does, and they're like, that's what
they boo and laugh. It's very funny.
And then Max like just shoots a flare gun at them.
Yeah, like directly at them. You're like, that's so dangerous. So obviously a woman falls off the boat, and
what is this scene?
And meanwhile, David Spade's narrating and saying that he's having the time of his life.
Like it was old times, right? And then they are going fishing, and then Sandler beats a fish to death, which was very aggressive. And then more voiceover, and then shot from the trailer, kablooey, the boat goes up exploding.
Yeah, night transition, right? And then basically like he wraps it up with, deep down somewhere, I knew I was going to have to go back to the real world, but Max, and then that's when the boat explodes. And you're like, movie over?
Yeah, is this it? Cue the credits?
Yeah.
Is this what Netflix paid for?
I was hoping.
A 15-minute movie.
Yeah, $20 million for Adam Sandler.
Done. Oh my god! So then we get Max and Charlie. Charlie's like kind of knocked out, confused, whatever, in this little dinghy boat there, lifeboat. Yeah, and they're getting away. And as we open up next morning in the motel, this is
from the trailer.
I think pretty much everything in the trailer is in this scene. I don't know if do we learn anything else new in this? Fake their deaths. He's tied up. That joke, right?
Yeah. Charlie attacks him. It's like another funny bit where he can't do anything because his equilibrium's off from the roofies.
He just crashes into the door.
Charges head first into the door.
Man, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, very Chris Farley. Very
yes. Yeah. Brand new life. You know, we get passports. Max is an FBI. He's actually a coroner, maybe, right?
Yeah, and this is when we get the reveal of where the money, or at least part of the money, came from. So that was something that was kind of unclear in the trailer, or at least I think they intentionally made it basically like the same thing.
Yeah.
But he maxed out all his credit cards.
Yes.
On cash advances, got 60 grand.
Which comes back a little later. So
well, yeah, then Charlie just says he's leaving and actually leaves.
Yes.
Goes home.
Yeah, and then this is where they both split up, and Charlie goes home and kind of sees what his life is like now that he's not there. You know?
He goes to his funeral.
Yeah.
First.
Yes. Funeral first. It's again
from the trailer.
Same joke from the trailer, which I think the only addition was he made a good casserole, and that was it.
He made a good casserole. I feel real sad that you were a Democrat. Was one of them. Like I feel like they made this seem much funnier than the trailer made me think it was going to be.
It definitely, an extended bit, and Sean Astin's eulogy too, or his words.
Yeah, his eulogy is great.
Let's get back and watch the Dolphins game because that's what he would want.
Gonna get to go fish.
Yeah, and then he swings by the house and the bank real quick. He sees that he's
classic Adam Sandler. Like when he goes home, both of the kids are like jerking off in their bedroom. At the same time, like with their blankets over them. It's like why? Like why have this joke? Like it's not funny.
Not at all. Well, at first he gets home and he sees his car's for sale, and then all of his stuff is in cardboard boxes. It just says free on it.
Yeah, that part's funny.
And then we get the wife is Peg and Ted.
Yep, during the Dolphins game, as is tradition, apparently.
Oh my god! And then we get some voiceover from Charlie that he's glad he's dead.
Yep, which I get now.
And then Charlie catches up with Max, and Max is like watching his funeral from afar, right? In the building across the street, he's kind of spying there, and Charlie shows
his funeral
up.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, right.
Party.
We see Kathryn Hahn spitting on his picture, whatever, and taking
from the trailer,
right? And then we get a little more plot movement here, right? Where he's like, hey, he gives him a key or something, right?
Yeah. So then that's when Charlie comes back and they meet up, and he's like,
yeah, what
do we do now?
Yeah.
I found this key in Butch's ass. And you're like, what?
Well, he gives him the key first, and he's looking at it, and then he says, I found this in Butch's ass. And this moment I laugh because I just find this to be kind of stupid funny. And then David Spade literally just turns his head and vomits and turns right back to the scene. I was like, that's just funny to me.
It was kind of funny, yeah. I agree.
And then, he's found this up Fishman's ass, and he's like, oh yeah, people put a lot of a little setup for later. People put a lot of important things up their ass sometimes, because he was going to look up there.
Yep, that's true.
And then Charlie, of course, bank guy, he recognizes the key. This is for a vault for a safety deposit box.
Which apparently there's some federal database of security deposit boxes safe deposit box, which
apparently he still has access to, even though he's dead.
What? I'm sorry.
Plot, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, well, and it's a bank in Puerto Rico. Okay.
Guess we're going on vacation.
Time to go.
So we get to the Puerto Rico bank, and again, this is like a shot from the trailer. Like not much else here other than like the guy checking their IDs and being a little skeptical of them.
They could have cut this scene too. Like it's just it's basically, and this is where I feel like Adam Sandler, where I don't like, and like how he hasn't changed at all. Of like there's just like, I don't know, he just like makes some scenes where he's like a jerk to person, like making fun of them, like making fun of their appearance and something, like, and you're like, but there's no payoff. You're just like, it's just, he's like, I think like Adam Sandler's just kind of a bully. You're like, okay, all right.
So they get so they get themselves into the bank, right?
Yeah, Charlie cites the Banking Act of 1938, and that's what apparently gets them back to the vault.
Remember your acts. That's all that matters. So they get down to the vault. They open up the safe deposit box. There's a ton of stuff in there, right? So there's a tablet, which Max seems to be more interested in, right?
Yep. And we'll come back later.
There's a ton of money in there, and Charlie's like, it looks like there's $1 million in here. Do we know that do we know what $1 million would look like? I always feel like they do this in movies, and it's like, no, that's not actually $1 million would be way more than that.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big box.
It's a big box, and they're all bounds of hundreds, right?
Right.
And is that one wrap that's like 10 grand, isn't it? When you have it like in the.
Oh yeah, I think so. Which right? I guess there could be
maybe
a lot of those. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Oh, it's actually much smaller than you think.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like it's here's a $1 million stack of in hundreds.
Okay.
And it's 5 bills long, 8 stacks deep.
Okay.
So it's really not that much.
Okay, yeah. So that box they pulled could have had that in there. So
totally. Actually, look, maybe the box was too big.
Might have been. So all right. Well, there you go. Now we know what $1 million looks like in hundreds.
Yeah. Glad we did this. Somebody has it on Quora. There's just it's like what is the volume of $1 million cash? Assuming all banknotes are $100. And they're like, here it is.
But wouldn't fit in a briefcase. So at least we know that.
Correct. Big briefcase.
Big briefcase. Yeah.
But unlikely.
Yes. All right. So $1 million in there. We got a tablet that looks important. Max is more interested in that. Obviously, there's something else going on here that Max is looking for, right? He doesn't so much care about the money, right?
Yeah. And they find keys. Yes. And there's a letter. And the letter is from a person named Dakota. Like the state. Not like Dakota Ring.
Or like
sometimes my accent makes it difficult, I think.
Or like the actress Dakota Fanning. Yep.
That's right. Yep. So. It is like her. And it's basically talking about their secret hideaway, beach hideaway that he set up that this person set up for them.
It's all coming together.
Yeah. And they're like, great. Hope it has a good view. Let's go.
Cut to the sweet Airbnb house, the Mad Dog's house in Puerto Rico here, vacation time.
Super fancy mansion.
Checking out the house. Max is shady. He's like looking for something while like, yeah, man, it's gonna be great. There's tons of places here, full bar and all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. See, now this is where I also, I guess, was a little thrown off. Like, I guess they did a good job if that was intentional. Like, I thought Max is a junkie. Like, I thought he was looking for heroin or something. I don't know. Because the way that he acts a little bit later, like, it definitely makes sense at the end. But I was like, oh, like he looks like he's like dope sick or something. Like, why is he like, why, like, what is this bit here? Like, I don't know. I thought he was looking for drugs.
I didn't think drugs, but yeah, I didn't know. I didn't think of anything. So
yeah, fair enough.
I was like, let's just move on with this movie.
Yeah. And Charles, there's like a couple of lines that I thought were funny. Like, there's like 5 houses in this house. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but
so yeah, then they find a Ferrari, right? And they go for a ride.
Yep. They go to the bar.
So they go to the local bar there. Again, this is one of the moments where I was like, I think they're just on vacation.
Yes. Yeah. And the bar looks very Florida. So good job.
Yes. So then Charlie gets a little drunk. He goes up, makes a dope of himself. He goes up on stage, talks on a microphone.
Yep.
Tells everyone who they are and that they got a ton of money, basically. And
yeah, offers to buy everyone's drinks for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Which, bold.
That's a power move right there.
Yeah. And also play Who Let the Dogs Out, which
come on.
Why?
It's because the sense of humor is still trapped in that time.
You're right. That's exactly what it is.
This is we're watching a time capsule of humor kind of carry through in Netflix deals.
The guys have no references after 2002.
Nope. So yeah, Max is like, hey man, what are you doing? Don't draw attention to us. Do you think someone here could recognize these two guys? Like, they're dead. And then that's when he shows them photos of them and they see like, oh, they got tattoos. And he's like, yeah, we got to get these tattoos so we look like them. And
this part of the plot was stupid, I thought too.
Yes.
Like, well, we have to get the same tattoos and piercings as the dead guys. Okay.
Yeah. It was literally just set up 2 really stupid jokes later on.
Yep.
So,
well, a few stupid jokes, because this is the first one, because he's like, he gives David Spade a bar piercing, and he's like, oh, it's not an earring. And you're like, oh, what's it going to be? Cut to the tattoo piercing parlor. It's a tongue stud.
Or is it?
Yeah, that's the second joke later. It's not funny then. Not funny now.
Yeah, and then Max's character gets the tattoos. He gets Dakota tattooed on his lower back.
That joke does not pay off at all.
No. It's who let the dogs out humor.
Yeah.
So then we cut back to the house pool. Spade Sandler on vacation, part 2.
Yep. Charlie wakes up. His tongue is very swollen.
Another Corona ad.
Yep.
And then we get like our first little kind of setup moment here where Max is like flipping through the tablet looking for something, right?
He's looking for weird porn. That's what he's hoping for.
Nice little Netflix drop there, right?
Yep.
And he swipes by, and there's right next to Netflix app, there's a very important app called Jenga.
Yep.
Stands out, but I wonder if that's going to come back later.
Mm-hmm.
And then the neighbor shows up, Dawn.
Yep.
I don't know. She's like, yeah, you guys showed up, and he was like, oh, did the movers say anything when you moved in? And she's like, no, they're all hush-hush. Everyone's very hush-hush about this whole thing about you moving in.
Like the president or George Clooney was moving in. Those are basically the same.
Pretty much. And then she just invites them to some club thing, right?
Yep.
That night.
Rum runner night, I guess. Cut to the night Ferrari.
Yep. Night Ferrari. Yep. So then they head to the club. Charlie is dressed up like Magnum PI.
A little too much Magnum.
A little too much Magnum. Mm-hmm. So yeah, their party time. Dawn shows up. She's got her friends. And then always love it when Luis Guzmán shows up. That's always a treat.
It is a nice treat.
Yeah.
He was great in the new in Wednesday. Have you watched that yet?
No, I haven't heard it. I heard it was very good.
It's very good and great casting as Gomez, in my opinion.
I love Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester there.
Oh yeah, that was good casting too.
Love it.
Yeah, great, well done.
Well done.
Speaking of Netflix,
God damn it.
God, this is how they get you.
Wow, damn it, they've infiltrated.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, the Guzman shows up, and
is it Shooter Boy? Is his job title, I believe.
And who's the other random guy like watching him taking notes?
Shooter Boy in training. That was the joke there.
Don't
mind. They were doing they're trying to make a joke about like when you go to a restaurant and they're like, oh, and like this guy's the new waiter. Don't mind him. Like he's just here to observe and like whatever.
Learn. Yeah,
it's the same thing, but he's a shooter boy in training. Okay.
So yeah, then we have a little drunk dance montage, right?
Basically, and the women are very impressed that these guys can still dance because they're obviously old.
Yes.
And then another joke set up for later is the always add 10 years bit
to their age, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm like 57. And she's like, oh wow, like you guys look amazing for being in your 50s. Okay.
It's because they actually are in their 50s.
Right. Yeah. And I guess they look pretty good for being in their 50s. I don't know.
So I guess so. So yeah, this is already feeling like it's taking a turn for the worst.
It sure is. It sure is, pal.
I think that's it though. I think we're gonna stop there for part 1. There's a lot of open threads here.
A lot of threads.
Sean Astin, did the Dolphins win? Did the Dolphins win that game?
I hope so.
Actually,
I hope not.
Yeah. Did they turn the laces out? Dolphins win. Is Charlie going to get his life back? And they end that scene with, you ever been in a threesome?
Yeah. Classic.
Guess we're going to find out in part 2. So thanks for listening. We're back on Thursday with part 2. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That, right? TMT Pod on Twitter. If you know someone who would enjoy this, send it to them. Mm-hmm. If you're listening, wherever you're listening, hit the subscribe.
Yeah. Well, that's not it. You should also write a review.
That was it for me. That was it for my part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You have more to say.
That's right. Yeah. Don't stop there, listeners. If you just turned off the podcast, like I'm gonna be real mad. But yeah, 5 stars would be nice. Maybe a comment or 2. Or if you're feeling old fashioned, you can send us an email at itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com. We always read those in trailer trash. Or you can go to the website where you can find all of the old episodes. At this point, we're closing in on 200.
Yeah.
We're going to do some kind of musical bit, I'm assuming, when we hit 200 episodes like South Park did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Both kinds of music, country and Western.
Oh, wow. Okay. Keep going. Yeah, that's great. Promises made. Promises made.
Yeah. So, speaking of promises, there's lots of that on the website. Go find it. It's thismeetsthat.com.